Justices of the highest court refuting an NPR report on alleged spat between justices. It claimed Justice Gorsuch refused to mask up despite his colleague, Justice Sotomayor's, concerns. NPR is standing by its report even after the justices came out with an official statement saying that report was false. Let's bring in Tomi Lahren, Fox Nation host. Tomi, great to see you. This was all kind of coming out, breaking down. The Chief Justice put out a statement during this hour yesterday, and we were all taking it in together. And this is after outlet after outlet after outlet, headline after headline, ran with this story without even checking with the justices themselves. Here's an example of some of the headlines. This is USA Today. Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch refused to wear a mask in the courtroom despite requests from Roberts. That, of course, too, was also false. Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch refused to wear a mask despite request over Sotomayor's COVID concerns. That was CNBC. I will leave these up on the screen. Rolling Stone, Newsweek, CNN. It was everywhere. And not only that, multiple TV networks then ran with the story. Watch this.
Anti-mask insanity has now reached the highest court in the land.
Risking the life of your colleague because you just don't feel like putting a mask on? You, Neil Gorsuch, are both a rotten co-worker, dangerous to be near in a pandemic, and tonight's absolute worst.
Can you put a mask on to be polite?
What kind of workplace is this?
All of the other conservative members of the court are willing to go along with this. Why not him?
Wow. Tomi.
Yeah, NPR didn't just make a bad assumption here. They perpetuated a lie, and so did several other news outlets. But we have to ask ourselves, why? Why are these news outlets, members of the mainstream media, so-called journalists, why are they seeking to sow such division? Now, we know why Democrats might want division in the country. They have elections to win, and they have to pit themselves against conservatives, against Republicans. We also know Democrats want to fundamentally change not only the court, but the country. So they need to put out this kind of material, this kind of division. But we have to ask ourselves, why is the media invested in doing this? Why does the media want to sow division unless they are doing the bidding for the Democrat Party, which unfortunately appears to be the case?
I just want to make sure that I put up the official statements that then came from the court saying this was absolutely false, despite everything you just heard there. Gorsuch Sotomayor 2 nights ago put this together, reporting that Justice Sotomayor asked Justice Gorsuch to wear a mask, surprised us. It is false. While we may sometimes disagree about the law, we are warm colleagues and friends. Then Chief Justice Roberts, this again happened during this hour yesterday, put out his own statement. I did not request Justice Gorsuch or any other justice to wear a mask on the bench. And to your point about trying to sow division, this was a little bit of that NPR original report that tried to obviously pit the justices against each other by writing this. Gorsuch, from the beginning of his tenure, has proved a prickly justice, not exactly beloved even by his conservative soulmates on the court, which is astounding considering the support he has received in the wake of this false report from his fellow justices.
The liberals in the media, and it appears to be that they are liberals in the media, they want to pit these justices against each other, but they also will take any opportunity to make any conservative, especially a Trump appointee, look bad. They have to do that. They have to make conservatives look bad, whether it's the truth or not. Now, these journalists have not only a duty, but an oath and obligation to seek the truth and report it, not salacious lies, not gossip. And I want to also know why their allegiance to the agenda is more important than their allegiance to their profession and to the American people where it should reside.
Thank you for joining us on that. I was actually just trying to dig up. There was one of those outlets then tried to walk back their original headline by simply saying that there's pushback from the court on the previous reporting, but not a whole lot of corrections were made or retractions were made that we have seen so far. Tomi, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.